If your child has spent significant amounts of time online, Roblox, Fortnite, any of these other games, there is a pretty good chance that your child has been harmed. Now, the harm goes in a couple different categories. The first category is going to be what those games have actually done to that child's brain. I want you to think about tobacco litigation. There was a time not so long ago when people were smoking all over the place. Doctors were smoking. Healthy people were smoking. The cigarette manufacturers convinced Americans, convinced the world that smoking not only was not harmful, but in fact it was good for you. So what did we find out with the tobacco litigation? We found out that the tobacco manufacturers were in fact creating a product which produced harm, cancer, death, devastation to millions of people all across the world, and particularly here in the state of Florida and across the country. That tobacco litigation resulted in multi-billions of dollars worth of claims that were paid to the victims of this. Why is my theming similar to the tobacco litigation? Because I promise you, parents in America, we are going to discover that these online games were every bit as dangerous and worse to children than tobacco was to adults. Here's why. The science is undisputed. What the producers of these games have done is to engineer games that draw children in, that keep them hooked in. If you watch the screen when they're playing and you see these flashes on there, when you see the rewards, when you see the different badges that are given, the numbers and all this sorts of thing, this is not at all random or by chance. Every one of those things is engineered to keep your child drawn in and into that game. And the critical thing to understand is that a child's brain, particularly under 15, is developing at that moment. What these games are doing are rewiring the brain of your child. They are affecting the cognitive wiring. They are affecting the emotional wiring that your child is going through. They are pushing through dopamine hits that are affecting the child and their emotion and their cognitive function later. So as parents, you're going to start to see lots of advertising out there of lawyers wanting to hold these game companies accountable. And they are going to end up paying billions of dollars just like the tobacco companies did. Now, I encourage you to pay attention to this. Look not just at the private lawyers that are out there doing this, but look at the litigation that attorneys generals from multiple states are bringing. That as a parent is going to be the indication to you just how bad this is and just how wrong it is. There is one thing that is absolutely certain, and that is you have got to get your kid off the online games immediately. Think about like Australia. The country has banned them entirely. And if this country weren't so corrupt, if we weren't so, the lawmakers were not so in bed with the campaign contributions from the technology companies, it would all be banned in America as well. But you as a parent must do this in your own home. Remove all of the games immediately for the health and the welfare of your own child.